So we want to try to memorize this chromatic scale, and all the notes there is in the world for everyone. The mother of all scales, I like to call her. She has many children, like for instance the major scale is one of her children, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And so we want to memorize her, and the easiest way to do this is the letters are A through G, endlessly repeated. Well, you're going to use a regular alphabet to help you. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, repeated over and over. A, B, C, D, F, G, 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 into oblivion. That's easy for you to do, to memorize that. The next trick to this is, if you notice, every time there's a sharp, there's always a flat with it. Every time there's a sharp, there's always a flat with it. Every single time. And so here too we're going to follow the alphabet. If I say A sharp, what comes after A in the alphabet? B. And the letter will be flat. For instance, here also, if I say C sharp, what comes after C in the alphabet? D. So what goes along with C sharp will be D flat. By the way, these anharmonic notes, one note with two names, they're played in the same string, same fret in the guitar. They sound exactly the same, but they have two different names. And the name that you'll pick will depend upon the key that you're in. If you're in a sharp key, then you'll stay with the sharps. If you're in a flat key, then you would pick the flat note. That's a kind of another story, but that applies. So again, every time there's a sharp, there's always a flat with it. So if you say D sharp, you're going to think of the alphabet. What comes after D in the alphabet? E. So the flat that goes along with D sharp will be E flat. I think if you try this, think of it in that way, it makes it easier to memorize, to figure out. There's kind of some tricky spots here. If you notice, C, in between C and D, there's an anharmonic. In between D and E, there's an anharmonic, but E goes right to F. There's no anharmonic in between them. Same thing with B goes right to C. There's no anharmonic there. So E and F and B and C are kind of a little tricky. Another tricky spot is G goes to G sharp and A flat. And after that, it goes back to A. So it doesn't go to H, because that would be the first 8 letters in the alphabet. We want the first 7. So that kind of gets a little tricky right there too. As long as you remember it's just the first 7 letters in the alphabet, you should be okay. Okay, another thing to do here to help you memorize this is every time that you have a natural note, the next note after that will be the same. C. What's the next note? It's the C, but it's sharp. Watch, this happens every time. Here's a D. What's the next note after it? Another D. It's the same, but sharp. For instance, here, there's an F. What's the next note after F? Well, it's still F, but it's sharp. This trick works every time here. G comes after it, G sharp. Comes after A, same thing as A. It's another A sharp. Remember, the only spot that this doesn't work is E goes right to F and B goes right to C. That trick's not happening there. Now, next trick is when you get to that C sharp, if you remember earlier I said every time there's a sharp, there's always a flat with it. So if you've got a C sharp, the next letter in the alphabet is D, so that's what the flat will be, D flat. We've already discussed that one. Our next trick is what comes after C sharp or D flat. Well, the same thing's going to happen here. You have a D flat is what we're going to think about. And the next will be the same, D. What comes after D flat? D. Just plain old natural D. So here we have an E flat, D sharp or E flat. Well, what comes after D sharp or E flat? After E flat comes another E. The same as this one, but not flat anymore. Just a natural, not enharmonic, natural E. Remember, E goes right to F. This trick's not happening here. Here again, we have F sharp or G flat. Well, what comes after G flat? Got to be the same. It's going to be another G. There it is, G, but not flat anymore. Just G natural. Comes after A flat. It'll be the same as A flat. Just another A. There it is. But A natural, not flat. Here's B flat. What comes next? Natural B. It's going to be the same. So if you think of it in terms like that and write that down and think of that, it makes it easier to memorize the chromatic scale. Okay, so we need this chromatic scale. It's a shortcut. Later on, we're going to use it for a whole bunch of other reasons. So if we know it now, it'll help us down the road. That's why earlier I said it's a great helper, kind of a shortcut. Lots of things are coming, lots of lessons are coming that we're going to use the chromatic scale for. If we don't learn it now, or get it memorized now, well, we're going to be in trouble. We won't be able to move forward. We're going to have to go back and relearn it again in order to move ahead. So it really, truly helps us. There's so many things coming that we're going to use it for. Work on memorizing this chromatic scale. Good luck. It's really not that hard if you do that alphabet trick like I said. And come on back. I'm going to show you next how to play it on the guitar. Thank you.